Thursday. Grand Rising. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you where you are. Welcome, welcome, Miss Mona. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you as always, Queen. Good to see you. Mel, it's good to see you. Katie, it's good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This morning, we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. And of course, we are on TikTok as well. I'm going to ask everyone, regardless of where you are joining us this morning for this episode, grant us a favor by sharing. Now, I have a post on Facebook. I think we have it up there since the last one day last week. Also on TikTok, there is a post. You're in North Carolina. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. We are looking to expand our team virtually so that we can expand what I am doing. So I have put out information. There's a pin video on TikTok that is saying who we want. Right now, we are looking to do the research to see where the people are. All you need to send us now is your intent. Send us that, yes, I am interested in this particular portion of your business. You do not need to send your resume or bio now. All right? And we are not hiring now. We are gathering the information, and hopefully by the end of November, we will have all the interest in and we can start the process rolling. Because when 2024 comes in, I want to have a team that can support me in what I am doing, that we can expand the business and grow the business. Right now, I have one person ever since I came to TikTok who is helping me. But it is time for us to get some other skills that can help us to expand and build what I am doing. All right, let me just. How do we know if we qualify? Read the pin post and let you won't know if you qualify until you go through the process. But what you need to say now is that you are interested, and say what you are interested in. If you are following me on Facebook, there's a pin post, and on TikTok, there's a pin video stipulating the different areas that we are looking to fill. Right up front, the only thing you need to be qualified is as an English speaking person, because I do not speak any other language. So I know people in other countries who do not speak the language. Okay, hold on, guys. Are you over there, Mona? All right. So give me a minute. I just had to address something. I didn't know if you were on Hey Queen, look at you on YouTube. Hey, how are you? All right. So Katie, I hope that answer your question. Hey, it's good to see you are well. I like the new picture. That is nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So that's with that being said, I hope I'm adding enough value that that you'll be interested in being part of what it is that we are building. All right? Just Katie, just look at the pin video and do what it asks you to do. I'm not answering questions pertaining to that right now because the questions you're asking, if you watch the video, it will explain what you're asking. All right? So, and if you know anybody that fits into any of the category, you can please ask them to submit their interest as well. All right. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This morning, in this episode, we will be talking about unfollow overthinking. Trust your intuition. Unfollow overthinking. Trust your intuition. This will be the teaching this morning. All right. My intention is that the show will be approximately an hour long, give and take, depending on what the Spirit has for you. It's not about me, I'm a vessel, and wherever the Spirit leads, that's where I go. All right? Does anybody have any experience or understanding about overthinking? And while you are typing your answer, please remember you can purchase my book, Conversation on Success. Conversation on Success. You get all of our stories. The book is $19.95 and $6 for shipping and handling. You can pay via my Cash App, which is in my bio, in my profile. Once you pay, put your address there, or you can text me your address and I can mail your copy out to you. Thank you for your support in doing that. All right. So go ahead, tap the screen, share the live, and let's get into the teaching for this episode. Before I delve into the teaching, again, I want to welcome everyone here. And I want to give you a brief explanation about overthinking. Overthinking is one of the biggest things which paralyzes people from living their soul purpose. And that's the reason why so many people exit this world without living their soul purpose. And that's the reason why that's the reason why I'm spending this episode to speak with you on unfollow overthinking and trust your intuition. Give me a minute, guys. I don't have any moderators, so I'm moderating as well. Just give me a minute. Okay. All right. All right, tap the screen and share the live, everybody. All right. So let's talk about the nature of overthinking. Anyone on YouTube or Facebook, welcome, 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 and thank you so very much for joining. What is the definition of overthinking? Anybody want to take a shot? What do you think overthinking means? Whichever platform you're on, go ahead and write it in the chat. Hey, Rain, how are you? What does overthinking mean? How would you define overthinking? Overthinking is your inability to make a valid decision when one is needed. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Long time no see. Inability to make a valid decision when one is needed. Is that you? Have you ever found yourself in that situation? For example, somebody propose something to you. Let's say you're looking for a job. And you keep asking this friend for a job. and they do their best to find you something. And without even going for an interview or filling out the application, you say, oh, let me think about it. And 2 days come, 3 days come, 4 days come, a month, 3 months. You're still thinking about it. You have not put any effort forth to get any detail about the job. You haven't done anything to find out whether and truly you're qualified or they are going to train you for the position. And all of a sudden, 2 months passes and your friend asks you, what happened? Because I was talking to HR and the lady that I spoke with about the job for you, she told me you never called. And you say, I know, but I'm still thinking about it. Do you know anybody like that? Or is that you? If that's you, you need to unfollow overthinking and trust your intuition. Overthinking creates doubt and uncertainty. Overthinking is saying to you, don't bother, you're not good enough. You're not going to be able to be successful. Look, you're not pretty enough. And all the list. So all of a sudden, now you are overcome with doubt and uncertainty even before you make the first step. Even before you make the first step, you came up with a lot of obstacles. You are filling yourself with doubts. What causes overthinking? Psychological factors had something to do with overthinking. Overthinking, believe it or not, causes stress on us. Overthinking allows us to become anxious. The more we think about it, the more anxious we are becoming. The more doubt you have, the more anxious you're going to become. Overthinking tells us we need to be perfect. So, somebody who is an overthinker experiences perfectionism. Is this from your book? No, this is not from my book. My book is Conversation on Success. I am teaching on Unfollow Overthinking, Trust Your Intuition. Overthinking tells you if you're not perfect, you can't succeed. That's a lie. Overthinking tells you, yeah, why bother? You're going to fail anyhow. You are a reject. Nobody is going to want you. Nobody is going to employ you. Why you think you want to have a business? Don't you see the way they treat Black people? Don't you see the way they treat lesbians? Don't you see the way they treat people who are XYZ? And all the list begins to accumulate. That's what overthinking does. When you're feeling in your heart that you are the best person for that job, but because of the overthinking, you cannot make the phone call or fill out the application because nowadays everything is being done online. So you don't even have to get dressed to go into the office. You can complete the application right there on your phone or your computer. However, overthinking prevents you. Your heart is telling you, go for it, Jennifer. That's the job for you. Go for it. It's like a match made in heaven. But no, you sit down and you said, let me think about it. Let me think about it. Another thing that stimulates overthinking is our social and cultural influences. Social and cultural influences stimulates our overthinking process. We find ourselves applying social comparison. Oh, but Doris work at the bank. Doris, Jane does this. Oh, why should I be doing that? Oh, we are the same age. Stop the comparison. Follow what your heart is telling you. Follow what your heart is telling you. Stop the pressure to conform. Understand who you are. Look in your mirror and have a better understanding of who you are. You do not need to compare yourself with anybody else. Even if it is your twin, stop it. Stop comparing yourself with other people. They do not have your quality. They do not have your skills. They do not have your talent. Why? You were uniquely created. You and I came on this planet specially gifted and talented. There are times when our personal experiences and traumas also places us in the state of overthinking. Because the last time you walked down that road, you butt your toe and fell down. For the next 20 years, you said, I'm never going to walk that road again because I'm going to butt my toe and I'm going to fall. Past experiences and trauma position us in a place to overthink. Even when inside our intuition is knocking and say, go for it, go for it. Go for it, Ramona. Go for it, Jane. Go for it, Doris. You're saying no, because 22 years ago, when I made that call to that corporation for that position, they did not call me back. So I'm not calling again. I am not calling again. Past failures and regrets also puts us in a state of overthinking things. Instead of us looking at those past experiences as the lessons learned, we instead overthink it and use it as a hindrance. So when you keep overthinking, you become stagnant. You prevent yourself from growing. So I'm asking you today or whenever you're listening to this episode, grant me a favor. If you can't do it for yourself, do it for those of us who love you. Stop the overthinking. Please, you are holding yourselves back. There are many of us who are late bloomers. However, you are not able to bloom because you're overthinking. Because you think because you didn't do something when you were younger, you can't do it now. So you keep overthinking. You get in dreams and visions. Your heart is telling you, yeah, you need to do such and such. But what? No, no, no. You're thinking. Now let's talk about the consequences of overthinking. Have you ever heard about a thing called paralysis by analysis? Anybody ever heard about that? Paralysis by analysis is when you keep collecting information. You have a filing cabinet jam-packed with information. Your computer hard drive is filled with the information. And guess what? You do not use that information. You're jam-packed with the information. You're not using it. That's what paralysis analysis. Over-accumulating of data. You collect it, you want more. You do everything. You spend the time, do the research, get the information. But what you do? You just keep it. You just keep it. You do nothing, absolutely nothing in it. Again, the consequences of overthinking is stress, anxiety, missed opportunity, and strained relationships. Not only on you, everybody that's around you, your spouses, your friends, because they want to tear their hair out. Because they're saying, why can't Daphne make a decision? She asks for the information we give her. She is not making a decision. I don't know what to do. It's driving me crazy. Is that you? Do you have any friends or associates that ever said that to you? Let's look on what are some of the strategies that we can use to overcome overthinking. We need to adopt a mindfulness mindset. What happens when we adopt a mindfulness mindset? Now, because of our clarity and our mindfulness understanding that we are one with God, the source, the universe, and everything is in universal control. So we can say, all right, I know what happened in the past, but now is a new day. And I am going to give it all that I have. And you know your heart is telling you yes. You said, all right, let me meditate about this. I'm not meditating to find out if it is right. I am meditating to give thanks that this opportunity has come before me. You see the difference? You pray about it. You're not praying to see if it is right. You're praying to give thanks to the universe, God, and the source for selecting you to be the one that receives this opportunity. You see the difference? You see the difference? You fast. You're not fasting to see if it is the right one. You're fasting to give gratitude that you are the one who is selected for this opportunity. There are some of you that is doing, you're on your 300 Daniel fast. Ask yourself, what are you doing with the spiritual information? Are you even listening to the downloads that you're getting during the fast? Are you just want to be in the company of people that say, oh, I'm going to start my Daniel fast? Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Are you just going with the norm? Or are you honestly adopting a mindfulness lifestyle? Stop judging people. I was speaking with somebody, I think last week, and she was sharing some intimate information with me. And I suggested to her to start journaling and meditating. And she said to me, but isn't that a sin? That's what she said to me. Isn't that a sin? And I asked her, define what you mean to me. What does that mean? Why would meditating and journaling be a sin? And she went into a whole religious thing. And I led her in a discussion because it was not for me to tell her she's wrong or right. I led her through a discussion and she began tears running down her eyes because she got her revelation. I said to her, what did your heart tell you? And she replied, what it said. I said, that was your intuition answering you. And since she shared with me why she was programmed that journaling and meditation was sinful act. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful what you are being taught. And analyze every information you get, whomever you get it from. Analyze it. Because let me tell you, when we pay attention to our spirit of discernment, when we pay attention to our intuition, we always get the right answer. Stop being misled. Stop being torn down, because now you adopt new learning and you have become enlightened. Stop allowing people to program you into their beliefs. As we work on our strategies to overcome overthinking, we need to be willing to get support. Those of you who are part of my community, whichever community you belong here on social media, let me tell you something. Every person who comes here, we all support each other. We grow together and we support each other. There's none of us that know it all. We support each other. Spirit just said to me I didn't introduce myself this morning. So why don't I pause here and tell you, I'm Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I am a coach, educator, speaker, and authentic broadcaster. I provide information for my supporters and clients to help them understand how to tap into their soul purpose. Thank you, Spirit. I didn't do that this morning. That's why we got to listen. We got to listen, because I see a lot of new people on here this morning, and you probably have no idea who I am and what I am about. I ran from this for 62 years. And now I have stepped up and honor who I am called to be, bold and unapologetic. So I was saying, we need to seek the support of some family members, not all, but our spirit will tell us which family members is right to help us overcome the overthinking. We can ask some friends. And I know some of you are in therapy. Discuss it with your therapist too. So, I find myself struggling with overthinking, because even when you give me some assignment, I walk through your door and I forgot it. I have to be thinking about it. And that's the reason why I have not been able to accomplish what you give me. Try and help me through that. We have to understand that we need to embrace imperfection if we are going to overcome overthinking. Embrace imperfection and failure and find the lesson in that situation. Find the lesson out of that. You were not a failure. The experience happened to teach you a lesson. You will not keep repeating the lesson so long as you learn the lesson. So instead of overthinking why you are a failure, find out what's the lesson here for me. What's the lesson here for me? What framework do you have in place to make your decisions? You got to create a list for yourself. This is how I'm going to make my decision. And you have a point system. This is what you're looking for. You put a number. And once you have all of those things lined up, you know you're ready to make your decision. Let's now talk about trusting our heart. Trusting our hearts. One of the biggest things that is preventing us from trusting our heart is unforgiveness. We cannot trust our heart when it is burdened with unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is like a block drained. Ooh. Oh, this is gross, but whatever Spirit tell me, I have to say it. Spirit says it's worse than a block drained. It's like a clogged toilet. Because not only is the toilet not running, all of the stench and everything is happening as well. Wow. Ooh. That's what it does. That's what it does. You got to understand our gut feeling. I know that my gut feeling is connected to my intuition, and every time there is a tingling there, I need to trust it. I don't need to make a phone call to bounce it off on anybody. I just need to say yes. It's like, you know how you used to set your alarm? I don't know if anybody still does that. You know how you used to set your alarm and it goes off and you know it's time to rise up and to go. Whatever that go means, either you're going to take a shower, or some people take their shower overnight and it's time for them to get dressed. When that alarm goes off, it is time for action. And that's what our gut feeling and our intuition does. It is our inner alarm clock, our internal buzzer, our internal alarm clock. You know when your alarm goes off. And if you press the snooze button, what is going to happen? You're going to be late for wherever you are supposed to be doing. So you got to get into the habit of not pressing the snooze button when it goes off. Because if you press the snooze button, you're going to miss out. You're missing opportunity. You're missing revenue. And the list goes on. So you got to program yourself that when the snooze button goes off, you jump up, you take your stress, your big stretch. Those of you who are stretching, Those of you who have set it to start your meditation, whatever activity you set the alarm clock for, when it goes off, you have to get into gear to do that. If you press this snooze button, you lose. What they say, if you snooze, you lose. Do you want a piece of cake? You better say yes, because what? If you snooze, you lose. Somebody else is going to take it. It's the same thing with your intuition and your gut feeling. When it says go, you better go. When it says apply, you better take action. Stop pressing the snooze button on your intuition and your gut feelings. When we trust our heart, it helps us to balance our rational, and it puts us in a healthy emotional state. Healthy emotional state. You don't have to doubt yourself. You don't have to say, I got to wait till I talk to Susan to see if she want me to do it. No. You have your stamp of approval there. Bam, 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 bam. It's a seal. It's like our intuition and our gut feeling. They are the, what you call it, the notary stamp. You know, when you have official documents that you have to turn in, and some of them require a notary seal on it. I'm sure somebody knows what we're talking about. Our intuition and our gut feelings are the stamp of approval. It's the new notary seal on that document. And once you get those documents notarized, you don't need to go ask anybody else anything. You take it right to the source. You take it right to the source. Let me tell you something. I am sure those of you who will be courageous enough to go on University of Google and search to see if there are any people who are successful because they followed their intuition. They didn't know why they were going to do such and such a thing, but something inside of them tell them, yeah, you don't have the qualification, but you can do it. You know, there's one prominent mega preacher that comes to mind. I'm sure some of you know Joel Osteen. When his father died, he used to be the person in charge of the music at his church. Yes? But something told him, he has never preached before, but something told Joel Osteen, you are going to be the one to be the pastor to take your father's place. And the story goes that he didn't even have a proper shoes that a minister should wear. But what? He followed his heart. He followed his heart. And now he's one of the biggest mega preachers the world have ever seen. Good morning. How are you? Hey, Camille, how you doing? So, follow your intuition and follow overthinking. There are many people. They don't have to be mega preachers. But there are many individuals who don't know why they're supposed to do what they do, but they are doing it and crushing it. And guess what? The people who tells us that we shouldn't do that or we shouldn't do that, and they're on the sidelines waiting to see us fail. And when they see us take off like a rocket, they are the ones that will come back to you and say, I always know you could succeed. I always know you would succeed. And you're smiling and you're thinking, am I hearing correctly? Am I hearing correctly? And you just humble yourself and you say, thank you very much. For those of you that just joined, we are talking about unfollow overthinking and trust your intuition. I can share a bit of my story. Many of you who have been with me for a long time know that I ran from my gifting of intuitiveness for 62 years. And it was not until I was laid out flat in the hospital with a stroke that I said yes. And I know that there are some of you on the live now who have personal experience and stories where you disobeyed your heart and you were redirected. And if that's you, I want you to type it in the chat for me and let me read it out so the other people on the other platforms will hear that there are other people. Go ahead and type that in. And also, at this time, we want to have some Q&A, and we also want to have an opportunity to coach somebody through a particular problem. So Afrocentric, I know you are following your calling and purpose now, so don't hold on. Go ahead and type something in the chat and let me read it. And there are other people. I don't know, Jennifer, do you have anything? Mona, do you have anything? Who else is here? Go ahead and type them and let me read it. Anybody else? I don't know if Mel is still here. All right. And again, remember, you can order my book, Conversation on Success. You can get an autographed copy. $19.95. Shipping and handling is $6. You get it autographed and sent to you. You can pay via Cash App. The Cash App is in my bio, in my profile. Anybody have any story they would like to share? Afrocentric. Hey, this message was for me. I need to stop overthinking. All right, Renee. Randy says this message, this particular lady is typing from St. Lucia. And she said that this message is for her because she has always been overthinking. How long have you been an overthinker? And what has it prevented you from accomplishing, Rennie? What has it prevented you? And thank you for your vulnerability, Queen. What has it prevented you from accomplishing? Anybody else? I know it's not just her alone. It's 9 of you over there on TikTok. I know it's not her alone. Your heart is telling you to share. So share. I am an overthinker. Okay. I can't see your name. What's your name? Somebody else says I am an overthinker. What has it prevented you? Go ahead, Amy. Thank you, Amy, for stepping forth. Amy and Rennie are not the only two. There are other people there as well. Spirit is telling me there are more people. Share so others know that this thing is for real. What has overthinking deprived you from? Go ahead and type it in the chat. What has overthinking deprived you of? I know for some people it's a relationship. Caring too much about what other people think. Wow. So thank you for stepping up. Because let me tell you, Afrocentric, the Spirit had you right up here telling me. Yes, thinking about what other people would think. Going forward with things I should be doing. That's right. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy. Well, listen, I hope that this lesson today has encouraged you enough to begin trusting your heart. There are other people here as well. Other people. Overthinking costs you your peace, joy, time, and happiness. That's right, Camille. You are welcome, and thank you also. You are welcome. It has prevented me from being who I am. Sometimes I'm not in a good mood, and it causes blockage. Thank you. Listen, ready? You and I spoke, and you know what you need to do. You need to step out of your way. You need to trust your intuition. You need to trust your intuition. Just give me a minute. I had to take care of that because I don't have any moderators. All right? So, we all are a work in progress. I just heard earlier today that the most powerful emotion is authenticity. You're right, Amy. You are so right. This is why I do what I'm doing boldly and unapologetically. Because why? I can only operate in my true authenticity. Overthinking, pleasing others, and forget about myself. Listen, Jen, we know each other for years. It's time for you. It's time for you, Jen. It's time for you. You need to honor who you're called to be. You need to honor who you're called to be. There is 3 more people That's holding out. The Spirit tell you that you sharing, you typing and sharing is your first step to listen in your heart. 3 more of you, the Spirit says. You know who you are. You know who you are. You know who you are. Anybody has any problems that you want to state for me to coach you through it? We are at the hour, but I want to maybe spend 3 minutes or 5 minutes more. There's still 3 people. Listen, if you don't share, it's going to be bothering you for the rest of your day. You're going to say, why I didn't share. That is your key to opening up. Thank you for the likes. Listen, we need to do the right thing for ourselves. We need to do the right thing for ourselves. My cash up to pay for the book is $ Daphne Clarke-Hudson. $ Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I hope, and it was my intention, that somebody got some valuable lesson out of this teaching of this episode. I want to encourage you to go to Linktree, linktr.ee / dynamic Daphne. Jennifer or somebody type it in the chat for me, please. Linktree, linktr.ee / dynamic Daphne. And connect with me on all of the other platforms. This way you can re-listen to this episode, because I am on multiple platforms. So when you follow on all the other platforms, you're able to go back and listen and re-listen and share and comment with us there. Also, we are inviting you to become part of our Facebook community. Thank you for the follow. Somebody follow. Thank you. We have a Facebook community called Dynamic Daphne's Tribe. And we are inviting you to be part of that community. So if you have not yet joined us, go there, request to join, and we will accept you. We are looking to be movers and shakers. We are tired of dragging our feet. Again, last call. Anybody else have anything? The 3 of you still held out, but it's okay. That's going to be resting on you. You're going to be the one who say, I'm sorry I didn't say something. It's okay. We all got to build courage. Go listen to yesterday's episode and you'll understand about courage. Listen, I am Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson, a coach, educator, speaker, and authentic broadcaster. Thank you so very much for coming and spending time with me on this episode this morning. I am in so much appreciation that the universe is using me to serve you. I know now that you have all the necessary information to stop overthinking so you can begin to blossom and bloom into the beautiful rosebud that you are intended for. Thank you, Mona, for being here with me. Thank all of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Thank you, StreamYard, for allowing me to do that. And above all, thank you to my TikTok people. So long, everybody. And I see you on the next broadcast. Bye. You're very welcome, Rennie.